You need an emerger hook or a curved hook. And this one, we're going to start our thread again where our body is going to end. But on this one, our body is probably 80% of the hook shank. So we're going to start our thread just behind the eye. Okay, can you see how far back I've started? I started my thread right here. So we want to start about 1 eye length behind the eye, because that's where we're going to be tying in our deer hair. Our deer hair is going to come on top. See that? If you look at it from the bottom, you can see where I'm at. Okay? So we're going to start our thread, tie it in, oval turns. I like taking wide open turns, and in this case we're going to take this down quite a bit down the bend of the hook, a lot further than you would think you would. Can you see where how old's my thread showing up? Not too well. I've come down to about here on the bend. See how far down I've taken it? Again, same technique we used in the other one, micro straggle again. We're going to lay it on top, take a pinch wrap, tie it down in place, and then tight turns, wrapping it down on top of the hook as we come forward with our thread. Bring our thread right back up to our starting point. Okay, now all we're going to do is wrap it forward. Same thing we did with the other one. It's just that you're going to need a little bit more material on this one because you're wrapping a lot longer on the hook. You're going further up the hook than on the other one. You went further down on the bend, and this hook actually takes about 8 or 10 turns more material than the other one did. Not a problem. If you're coming near the end of the material and your fingers can't grab it, that's why they help invent hackle pliers. You can always grab your hackle pliers and use them. Yep, wrap forward to your tie-in point. Once you got it tied in, cut off your excess. If you've got it tied in, your thread should be tied down right in front of your body, and there should be it should be tied in, and there should be actually some minor bare hook shank between your tying threads and the eye of the hook. Okay, once your material is tied in and you've clipped your excess, finish covering the rest of the hook shank all the way up to the eye of the hook with thread, because you want a thread base. I have one straddle, I can see it flashing.
You know, when you wrap that stuff, do you ever do like you do half and make a wrap and then pull the fuzzy stuff back? And then...
Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take some deer hair. And this is the fun part about deer hair, because every time people talk about work with deer hair, one of the biggest problems is you're always trying to get your tips even. In this case, the tips don't matter. We're going to cut them off. Okay? So, here's the deer hair. What we want on the deer hair is we're going to be using this lower section down here. This has got the most buoyancy to it. The tips are not buoyant. The base of the hair is where all the open cellulose pores are, which creates the buoyancy. It traps air. So does everybody have deer hair? And it doesn't matter how long it is, because you're only going to use just a smidge of it. And you're not going to need very much because this is not a very large fly. What you're going to do is knock out any of the short fibers or any of the underfur. Don't worry about evening it up. It doesn't matter. Cut it off and hold the tips in your left hand. You can see how little I have. You don't need a lot. That's about half a hook gape, or maybe a third of a hook gape worth as a bundle. It's not very large. You don't need a lot. The hook is not heavy, and this amount of deer hair will float it if you wanted it to float. Okay? Simon says. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to lay this on top, right on top of the hook. Same pinch wrap again. And this time, now watch this, I'm going to pull up. See how I pulled up? I didn't pull down on my thread, I pulled up. I'm going to go down around again, and I'm going to pull up, down around again, pull up 4 times, pull up, and I'm going to take some of the material and pull it back and tie a turn as each time as I come through some of the material as I go towards the eye of the hook till I get to the front, and at this point I'm going to wrap my head. Okay? And then when you've got it all tied in, pull it all back, tie your head, and then finish off your fly with either a half hitch or a whip finish, whichever way you'd like. Because now the only thing left to do is grab your scissors after we do our whip finish, or half hitches.
So this guy's going to float more or less, huh?
That's the idea. Okay.
You could always pull it under if you want to. I like doing that.
You fish it with a split shot, and what it does as a subsurface fly is as the current bounces with it, it does this because the hair wants to make it float, but then as it bounces down, the weight pulls it down again, the split shot pulls it down, so the fly is bouncing, if you would, looking like an emerger trying to come up. It has a real nice action to it. Now, one of the things that you may or may not have done it, and I probably should have mentioned it earlier, but I'll mention it now. If you look at my fly, I'm going to turn it. You can see, oh, perfectly. You can see my butts are shorter than the tips. Here's my tips. Here's the butts. So when I had everything like this, I wanted to separate them. So I can do that because my demarcation line says I've got longer hair here, shorter hair, so I can pull these forward. I want to take these forward, hold them over the hook eye, and just clip them short, right at the hook eye.
Like a little elk caddis.
Like an elk hair caddis, okay? Then, at the back end, you're going to clip that just slightly longer, about
Oh, really?
a tad bit longer,
See what he just
to look like a wing case. So what you've got is a short head and a little bit of a deer hair wing case. So 2 quick cuts and the fly is finished. Now, if it was the way you deal with a serendipity head is the same way, irrelevant to your body material. So you can change your body material 100 times over if you wanted to. I don't know if it'll catch fish, but you can change it. And the beauty is the way you tie the head is the same way every time. The reason why I tied through the head, remember I tied 4 wraps in one place, pulled some of the material back and tied it down, that ties in that entire head tighter so it won't come apart. Nor will it twist. Okay? So there's the serendipity.